Johnny Depp, from Hollywood's dark prince to courtroom spectacle. He was one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood, a chameleon actor who could disappear into any role, a global sex symbol, and the rebellious outsider who somehow became one of the biggest stars in the world. Johnny Depp was Jack Sparrow, Edward Scissorhands, Ichabod Crane, Willy Wonka, and 100 other faces. But behind the costumes and the eccentric brilliance, there was chaos. A childhood full of violence, years of addiction, destructive relationships, and a courtroom battle that split the world in two. This is the true story of Johnny Depp, from Hollywood's dark prince to one of the most controversial figures of the 21st century. Early life and traumatic childhood. Johnny Depp was born in Owensboro, Kentucky, in 1963, the youngest of 4 siblings. His family moved constantly, more than 20 times before he turned 15. His father, an engineer, was often absent, while his mother, Betty Sue, was strict, volatile, and sometimes violent. Depp later described his childhood as chaotic and painful. When Johnny was 15, his parents' marriage collapsed. His father simply walked out, leaving Johnny to witness his mother's spiral into depression and even a suicide attempt. For the teenage Depp, this was a breaking point. He dropped out of school at 16, started drinking heavily, and turned to drugs as an escape from what he called the hell at home. Music became his only refuge. He joined garage bands, playing guitar, dreaming of escaping small-town America through rock and roll. From musician to accidental actor. In the early 1980s, Depp moved to Los Angeles with his band The Kids, hoping to make it in the music industry. But money was scarce. To survive, he worked odd jobs, telemarketing, manual labor, anything to keep going. His life took a turn when he met actor Nicolas Cage, who encouraged him to try acting. At first, Depp resisted. But in 1984, he auditioned for A Nightmare on Elm Street and won a small role as one of Freddy Krueger's teenage victims. That role opened doors. In 1987, Depp became a teen idol with the TV series 21 Jump Street. Young audiences adored him, but Depp hated the pretty boy image. He smashed trailers, rebelled against producers, and begged to be released from his contract. He didn't want to be another disposable TV star. He wanted to be an artist. Collaborating with Tim Burton, a Gothic star is born. His chance came in 1990 with Edward Scissorhands. Directed by Tim Burton, the role was a perfect fit, strange, poetic, vulnerable, and unlike anything Hollywood was offering. The film turned Depp into a different kind of star, not a heartthrob, but a cult figure, the face of Gothic Hollywood. From there, he became Burton's muse, starring in Ed Wood, Sleepy Hollow, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Corpse Bride, Alice in Wonderland. Depp proved he could inhabit bizarre, eccentric characters and make them beloved. By the early 2000s, he was respected, wealthy, and considered one of the greatest actors of his generation. Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow changes everything. Then came 2003, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Disney executives initially hated Depp's performance as Jack Sparrow. They thought he was too weird, too drunk, too gay. But audiences loved him. Jack Sparrow became a cultural icon, and the Pirates franchise exploded into a multi-billion-dollar empire. Depp became one of the highest-paid actors in the world, earning up to $50 million per film. He was nominated for Oscars, adored by critics and fans, and seemingly untouchable. But behind the scenes, the old demons were never far away. The dark side, addictions, and chaos. Even at his peak, Depp's life was filled with chaos. He was infamous for drinking heavily on set, disappearing into wild binges, and smashing hotel rooms in fits of rage. His romantic life was equally stormy. In the 1990s, his relationship with actress Winona Ryder ended in heartbreak, leaving him with a tattoo. Winona Forever later changed to Wino Forever. His years with supermodel Kate Moss were filled with drugs, alcohol, and public scandals, including his arrest for trashing a New York hotel room. By the 2000s, Depp seemed to calm down with French singer Vanessa Paradis, with whom he had 2 children. But he admitted that addiction never fully left him. His spending spiraled out of control. Reports later revealed he was burning $2 million a month on luxury items, yachts, art collections, 45 luxury cars, and even paying to fire his ashes out of a cannon after death. Marriage to Amber Heard. Love turns toxic. In 2011, Depp met Amber Heard while filming The Rum Diary. They married in 2015. At first, it looked like a glamorous Hollywood romance, but soon cracks appeared. By 2016, Heard filed for divorce, accusing Depp of domestic violence. Photographs of bruises on her face made headlines worldwide. She obtained a restraining order, and Depp's reputation took a devastating hit. Studios began distancing themselves, and Disney quietly dropped him from future Pirates of the Caribbean films. Court battles and public spectacle. The real war began in 2018, when Amber Heard published an op-ed in the Washington Post describing herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse. She didn't mention Depp by name, but the implication was clear. Depp sued Heard for defamation, demanding $50 million. The lawsuit launched one of the most bizarre and public celebrity trials of modern times. Broadcast live in 2022, the trial turned into a global media circus. Viewers heard shocking allegations from both sides. Depp accused Heard of physical violence, infidelity, and even defecating on his bed. Heard accused Depp of sexual assault, choking, and drug-fueled rages. Fans picked sides. Hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp versus hashtag I Stand with Amber Heard. TikTok and YouTube were flooded with trial clips, turning the case into a form of entertainment. In June 2022, the jury sided mostly with Depp, awarding him $10 million in damages. He was vindicated in the eyes of his fans, though critics argued the trial exposed toxic behavior on both sides. The aftermath, exile and comeback. By the time the trial ended, Depp's Hollywood career was in ruins. He had been fired from Fantastic Beasts and sidelined by Disney. But he found new life in Europe, touring with his rock band Hollywood Vampires, and starring in the French film Jean du Barry, which premiered at Cannes in 2023 to standing ovations. He also returned as the face of Dior's Savage fragrance, securing a record-breaking endorsement deal. For millions of fans, Depp remains a hero wronged by the media. For others, he is a cautionary tale of addiction, ego, and toxic love. Legacy and unanswered questions. Johnny Depp's story is not just about one man. It's about the dark side of fame, the price of addiction, and the way social media now shapes justice. Is he a victim of cancel culture, unfairly punished for improving claims? Or a deeply flawed man whose charm allowed him to escape accountability? What cannot be denied is this: Johnny Depp remains one of the most fascinating figures in modern entertainment. A man of immense talent, self-destruction, and contradictions. And his story is far from over.